invalid. But if you are following the Imam, we said you do not have to recite the Fatiha in the first surah in the Fajr Salah, the first 2 rak'ah of Maghrib, first 2 rak'ah of Isha. All right, so beside this, you must recite the Fatiha and the rest of the Salah. We have mentioned also the Qiyam, that Rasulullah made Salat Qiyam. He did silently and out loud. So a few things here. Today we have reached also to Ruku'. Al-Ruku', as you know, Ruku', one of the pillars of Salah. Standing, Allah said, قُومُوا لِلَّهِ قَانِتِينَ. Standing position as a pillar. The Salah, if you are able to. If you are able, mean physically. So we said if you're in the car or the plane, you have to find an area where you can get off the car and make Salah. I'm talking standing. I'm talking about now the obligatory Salah, the 5 daily Salah. Sunnah is a lot more flexible than the obligations, the obligatory Salahs. So we have reached to Ruku'. Ruku', a pillar of the Salah. The Ruku' itself is a pillar. What we say in the Ruku' is different, but the Ruku', to be in state of Ruku', bow. So this is a pillar of the pillars of the Salah. As Rasul said, your Salah is invalid till you make the right wudu, then 2 takbir, we said takbir al-ihram, and then the dua and the other stuff, the Sunnah. But then after you recite the Fatiha and Surah after the Fatiha, as we have mentioned, the Surah after the Fatiha is Sunnah. It's the Rasul done it, make sure you do it. But is it obligatory? It is not obligatory, it's a Sunnah. So the description of the Ruku', Rasul used to put his hand and his knees like this. Open his hand like this, hold his knees. Open his fingers and hold his knees. All right? This is the way Rasulullah did it. And now, as he said, as he hold them, as he grab in the knees. As he grab in the knees. And he said, when you're done with that, you make sure you don't want to, your hands, make sure open your hand a little bit. Of course, if you're not praying in Jama'ah, in the middle, you don't want to hit the people next to you. But in general, if you are the Imam or praying by yourself, make sure open your hand, your forearms away from your side. And then your back. We need to make sure your back straight and your head level with your back. You don't raise your head this way, or you don't go down with your head. It has to be straight with your back. They say till the point if you pour water, the water will settle. Your back has to be straight, including your head has to be the same way. So and in Ruku' was not no hadith mentioned where should we look. But the scholars have said, since all the Salah you should look, or most of the Salah, when you stand you should look at the place of sujood. In Ruku' they said it's open. You could do that, or in the area and beneath you, where to look, right? So, but if you want to continue on looking at the place of sujood as when you are standing, will be fine. But they say there's no hadith to mention where to look. But definitely you should not look outside the area. So you don't want to look outside the area where you make sujood. As we said, when you look to different direction than the sujood spot, then the shaitan have stole some of your salah. And the other pillar of the Salah, people do not pay attention. This is almost with every pillar. This pillar comes right along with every pillar, which is tama'nina, which is feeling at ease. He said, you have to sit, say, for example, you can say for Ruku' and say, Subhan Rabbi al-A'la, Subhan Rabbi al-Azim, Subhan Rabbi al-Azim, Subhan Rabbi al-Azim. Feel at ease. Otherwise, if you do it so quick, you have missed the pillar, and this will invalidate the pillar of the Salah, or invalidate the whole Salah. As Rasulullah he told the man, he said, Al-Musi' fi salatu, Al-Musi' salatu, mean the one who did not do his Salah right. He told him, repeat your Salah, you have not made Salah. Repeat the whole Salah. So he said, Atimmu ruku'a wa sujud, complete the ruku' and sujud, make it right, subhanAllah. And he said, Walladhi nafsi biyadih, he said, made an oath by the one who's my soul in his hand, meaning by Allah. He said, I can see you, even I'm facing the opposite direction. One of the miracles of Rasulullah, look into the Qibla, and he used to see the Sahaba from the back, subhanAllah. So he said he saw a man, he does not do the ruku' long enough. He do ruku' this way and goes right up. He said, subhanAllah, if this man die in this position, in this state, he will die and different than the way of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. to that point, subhanAllah. He said he makes salat like a peck of a crow. You know how the chicken eats so quick? He said he's like a pecking. So that's the thing we need to make sure. He said, لا يتم ركوع وينقر في سجوده. He said he pecked his sujood, meaning, subhanAllah, making things so quick. And he said, Abu Hurairah, Prophet ﷺ have forbid me or prohibited me from doing such a quick salah. And he said, the worst thief, the one who steals from his salah. The worst theft, if you want to put it this way, and the one who steals from his salah, meaning does not do the ruku' right, or the sujood right, or the recitation of the Quran right, the Fatiha and so on, has to be done the proper way, subhanAllah. And what do we say now? The ruku' itself, we say the pillar. To say Subhan Rabbi al-Azim one time, it's wajib. One time. Wajib. And to say 3 times or more is a sunnah. But at least one time. Now, pay attention to this. We said there's sunnah, wajib, higher, and pillar. If you leave the sunnah, no problem. You don't have to do anything to it. Some scholars, they said you have to, still even leave sunnah, you have to make 2 sujood, but really, you do not have to, as other opinion of scholars. So the thing here, if you missed a pillar in the salah, or wajib, one of the two, intentionally, your salah is invalid. Remember that. If you missed a wajib or pillar intentionally, your salah is invalid. What the pillar? Fatiha. Intentionally, your salah is not valid. Okay. Wajib. To say Subhan Rabbi al-Azim one time. Wajib. I don't want to say it. Then your salah is invalid. Done? No. If you missed a pillar of the salah, because you forgot, this rak'ah does not. Let's say, for example, you went from standing right to sujood. You forgot to do ruku'. Could happen. Anything could happen. Right? Or you made 2 sajda, you made 1 sajda. As you know, each sajda is a pillar. You forgot. This rak'ah doesn't count. Clear? So that rak'ah doesn't count. Now, if you missed a wajib unintentionally, for example, you forgot to say Subhan Rabbi al-Azim, and you are sure now, then toward the end of the salah, you make 2 sujood. They call it the forgetfulness sujood, which sujood as-sahw. All right? So this is what different. Intentionally, they are the same. Your salah is invalid. Unintentionally, you have to repeat the pillar, as for example, you pray in Dhuhr 5 rak'ah instead of 4, or Maghrib 4 rak'ah, because this rak'ah doesn't count. But the wajib, 2 sujood, and still, and with the pillar, you still have to do the 2 sajda, which is the forgetfulness sujood, sujood as-sahw, and the wajib, only the 2 sajda will be sufficient, inshallah. All right? So now, Subhan Rabbi al-Azim, 1 time is wajib, 3 times is sunnah, and if you do more, it's better, the more you do. As the Rasul said, أَمَّا الرُّكُوعُ فَعَظِّمُ الرَّبِّ. So the ruku', he said, glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in it, and he just say, Subhanallah, Subhan Rabbi al-Azim wa bihamdih, Subbuhun Quddus, Rabbi al-Malaikatu wal-Ruh, Subhan al-Jabarut wal-Malakut wal-Kibriya wal-Azama. There's so many dua, but we are not allowed to read Quran in the ruku' or the sujood. So remember, we are not allowed to read Quran in the ruku' nor the sujood. Has to be only that what have Rasulullah mentioned. So the thing is, we say Subhanaka Allahumma Rabbana wa bihamdik Allahumma ighfir li. Only this dua allowed. Usually, all what you do in the ruku', praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, glorifying Allah. So remember this, Subhanaka Allahumma Rabbana wa bihamdik Allahumma ighfir li. سبحانك اللهم ربنا وبحمدك اللهم اغفر لي. Beside this, سبحان ربي العظيم سبحان الجبروت والملكوت والكبرياء العظمة اللهم لك ركعت بك آمنت and so on. So خشع سمعي وبصري ومخي وعظمي وعصبي. The dua was mentioned. If you can memorize this will be great. If not, سبحان ربي العظيم inshallah will be sufficient inshallah. Definitely. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to make long ruku'. Long ruku'. And the longer the better. And you know that when he did the qiyam, he made the ruku' as long as he recited Surah Al-Baqarah and An-Nisa and Al-Imran, which is about 106 pages. All right, but no one could do that long ruku', of course. I mean, besides Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even the Sahaba was so difficult for them. So no one can imitate this beautiful salah of our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, ruku', but remember, ruku' فَعَظِّمُ فِيهِ الرَّبِّ. Glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the sujood, make dua in it. So this is it. Okay, now, when you get up from ruku', stand in position now. The first thing we say, Sami Allah, if you are leading the salah, the imam, or praying by yourself. You say, Sami Allahu liman hamida, Rabbana wa lakal hamd. Two things. This is the wajib we're talking about. The wajib thing. We're not talking about sunnah. Sunnah like ربنا لك الحمد حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه ملء السماوات والأرض وما بينهما وملء ما شئت من شيء بعد أهل الثناء والمجد أحق ما قال العبد وكلنا لك عبد اللهم لا مانع لما أعطيت ولا معطي لما منعت ولا ينفع ذا الجد منك الجد. This is a long dua. I said if you can memorize, fine. If not, سمع. If you are praying by yourself or leading salah, you say سمع الله لمن حمده ربنا ولك الحمد. All right. So Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said your salah is incomplete till you make takbir al-ihram. Remember, takbir al-ihram is a pillar, the first takbirah. And then you, after reciting Quran, the Fatiha and so on, make ruku'. Then he said you have to say Sami Allahu liman hamida when you are getting up. And when do we say Sami Allahu liman hamida? Sami Allahu liman hamida, you say it from going up. So you guys, like you guys say it for go this way, then you move up, Sami Allahu liman hamida, Rabbana wa lakal hamd. That's the way we say it, going up. Don't wait till you stand up. Going up. That's the time we say it. And when he goes up, your back has to be straight. As Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, till each bone goes back to its spot. So have to be stand this way. You cannot say subhanallah, then go back, right back. Straight up all the way, subhanallah. And Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Sallu kama ra'aytuni usalli. And he said the imam was appointed to be followed. Here, why are we saying this one here? The thing is, they have differ. Should we say, even if you're praying behind the imam, should we say Sami Allah alhamdulillah or shouldn't? The scholars have differ. But Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the hadith of, I think narrated by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he said, pray like me. When Imam say this, say that. When the Imam say this, say that. But he said, when the Imam says, Sami Allahu liman hamida, say Rabbana wa lakal hamd. Even though he say, pray like me. But this particular one, he said, when he says that, you should say Rabbana wa lakal hamd. So you follow the Imam with everything he says, except for this one, you say Rabbana wa lakal hamd, even though there's another opinion, respected opinion and stronger opinion. But this is the hadith we took in this dars, inshallah. That when the Imam says this, because of the hadith Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said, he said, Sami Allah hamd, we say Rabbana lakal hamd. Now if you are following the Imam, if you by yourself, remember, you have to say Sami Allah hamd, Rabbana lakal hamd, both. If you are leading or by yourself. All right, so this is the thing when it comes to the ruku. Then getting up from ruku. And this is also another pillar we don't want to miss out, which is something al-itminan. As we ruku', we used to love al-itminan, which is itminan mean feeling at ease. Meaning we said we made ruku', Subhan Rabbi al-Azim, Subhan Rabbi al-Azim, Subhan Rabbi al-Azim. This is feeling at ease. Same thing, when you get up, Sami Allahu liman hamida, Rabbana lakal hamd, Rabbana wa lakal hamd. This is feeling at ease. If you want to make more dua, the dua was mentioned by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it's fine. If not, at least this much. Has to be your back straight. The moment someone's back is not straight, he or she have missed a pillar. So this will invalidate the salah, or at least will invalidate this pillar, this rak'ah. So we have to be very careful. طيب. When you stand up, a lot of people, that's common mistake when they say this way, Sami Allahu liman hamida. Right? That's not the way. You say Sami Allahu liman hamida. Rabbana wa lakal hamd. We don't do this. And some people, they raise their eyes, they look at the sky. It's also prohibited. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, your sight or vision will be taken away if you keep on. You should stop or your vision will be taken away. And he said also, Allah will flip the head to become a form of a donkey's head. So we have to be careful with this. So the thing is, we have to say it like this. We say, Sami Allahu liman hamida, Rabbana lakal hamd. Our hand this way, basically almost like the takbirat al-ihram. Clear, inshallah? We didn't do this way. All right, done. Then the sujood, the other pillar of salah, the sujood. Of course, after you say Allahu Akbar, without raising your hand going down. Without raising your hand. So now I'm said Sami Allahu liman, standing. Whether you put your hand here, you can put your hand here or down. So both are mentioned, and it seems like the stronger opinion, your hand next to you. But also some, like Shaykh bin Baz and others, they have interpreted the hadith, your hand should be this way. And Shaykh al-Albaani rahimahullah said, no, your hand this way. So you could take either or. Seems like the stronger opinion, your hand next to you. All right. So here, when you go down, we raise our hand this, Sami Allahu liman rabbana lakal hamd, our hand next to us. Then going down, we do not raise our hand. We go down without raising our hand down. Now we're done with the pillar, right? So Sami Allahu liman, then we get this way. Now we want to go down. So after we say Sami Allahu liman rabbana lakal hamd, hamdan kathiran, till the end of it, then we go down without raising our head, without raising our hands up. طيب. The other thing, should I go down with my knees first or with my hands first? There is two opinions. The most comfortable opinion, the opinion of Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah ta'ala, he said basically, whatever make you go smoother. Because the scholars, the imams have differed so much when it comes, should I go? Because they have used the same hadith. They interpreted the hadith in different ways. Because the thing, we're not supposed to go down like the camels. It's the hadith for our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the camel said his leg in the back or the front, they have differ. So, however, they said the opinion of that, Shaykh al-Islam Taymiyyah rahimahullah said, whatever make you go smoother, down smoother. If easier for you with your knees first, go ahead. If it's easier for you with your hands first, you do that. So because no one could say like this is the right way. Because they have the same hadith. Both the same hadith. Don't know this is the dalil. They get the same day. Look, if you watch YouTube, they show the camel. I love this, the YouTube, they show the camel. Says he sit like this. Because this is the hadith from Rasulullah said, don't do like the camel. Okay, but he said this, his legs in the back. His legs and his hands in the front. And back and forth. So really it's hard to determine. Because and shows here, subhanAllah, this is sound probably sometimes it's funny, but really shows how much the scholar care. The scholars, how much they care to know what did Rasulullah do. To deliver the message in the best way. Little details. They go out there, no, then they get the camel. But this hand, they all mean so good when it comes to that stuff, as long as they use in the authentic hadith, subhanAllah. So this is what we do. The thing is, the hadith, he said, when you make sujood, do not make sujood, do not sit like the camel. That's done deal, subhanAllah. And like I said, definitely we could do either or, inshallah. Now, when we go down, the sujood the 7 bones has to touch the floor. The hands, the 2 hands, knees, toes. Now, the details about the sunnah, we'll talk about it. This is mainly, and your forehead and nose. This way. He pointed this way. Your nose has to touch also. Not your mouth. Some people go like this. Your nose. Still lifted this way in angle. So the thing is, this is the 7 bones. Remember 7 bones. Hands, knees, toes, and forehead and nose. Make it 7 bones so to touch the floor. And your hands same way. Facing the qibla. The sunnah now. We add to that the sunnah. And your forearm should not touch the floor. Make sure that. Rasulullah said, do not lay down like the dog, he said. You know how the dog sits, right? Lays his forearm on the floor. He said, don't do that. So make sure to this will be lifted. To be lifted, and your hand, your fingers facing the qibla, and your hand, if something can go beneath your arms. So you don't want to do this. If you can. And jama'ah will be hard. But if you are praying by yourself or you are the imam. All right? So make sure open the arms. If there's room for you, fine. If not, make sure, subhanAllah, and so on. So Rasulullah said, hadith, he said, La salah. There's no salah for the one whose nose does not touch the floor. You see some kids, even their feet's not touching the floor. But that's fine, they're young, inshallah, we teach them how to do it. And same thing he said, when you make sujood, you have to reach to the level of itmi'nan, to feel at ease. Same thing. So you cannot just like, again, peck your sujood like the crow or like a chicken or whatever the thing. Because the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used the crow as pecking so fast. And he said also this one thing in the Sunnah, some people, they roll their sleeves, or they roll their pants, or they have like they tie their hairs. This is the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned, the hadith, he said, when you make sujood, do not do any of that stuff, because they all make sujood. Don't roll your sleeves. There's a hadith. Imagine how much detail, subhanAllah, Rasulullah. Make sure that they don't roll any of that stuff, and make sure this all loose, all right? And remember, your hands in sujood by your shoulders, maximum by your ears, like we do takbirat al-ihram. Just think of takbirat al-ihram, you don't want to go back, you don't want to go up in front of your head. You need to make sure it's that, inshallah. طيب. We mentioned that طمأنينة in the sujood, feel at ease. And now the adhkar, what to say in the sujood. We said the sujood itself is a pillar. The sajda is a pillar. What to say in the sujood, same as the ruku'. Subhan Rabbil A'la, one time is a wajib. So you have to differentiate between this and that. So the sujood is a pillar. To say Subhan Rabbil A'la one time wajib, more is a sunnah. And same thing, there's dua. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam made the long sujood. And the sujood, an opportunity for you to make dua. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned the hadith. He said, the ruku', you are the closest, remember that, the closest position to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Said, make sure, make dua. It's more likely your dua to be accepted. All right? And to say, Subhan Rabbil A'la 3 times, Subuhun Quddus, same what we said, Rabbil Malaikata Ruh, Subhanaka Allahumma Rabbana bihamdik, Allahumma ighfir li, whatever dua you want to do, inshallah. Allahumma laka sajadtu wa laka amantu wa alayka tawakkaltu wa laka aslamtu, sajada wajhi alladhi khalaqahu wa shaqqa sam'ahu wa basarahu, tabarakallahu ahsan khaliqin. And things like this, subhanallah. Or you could say, Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to say, Allahumma ighfir li dhanbi kullah, دقه وجله أوله وآخره علانيته وسره. And you say, Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub, thabbit qalbi ala dinik. He used to make this dua a lot. Oh, the one who flipped the hearts, make my heart steadfast in the deen. Shows how big that. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam asked Allah to steadfast in the deen. Imagine people like us. So this is the dua. Make sure to do a lot of dua in the sujood. Take advantage of it. He said, فَقَمِنٌ and istijab lahu, meaning most likely your dua will be accepted, inshallah. And he said here, same as the sujood, the ruku', we need Allah to recite the Quran and the sujood either. So we need Allah to recite the Quran and the sujood, ruku', unless there is ayah in the meaning of dua. There's ayat of dua. For example, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. This ayah, this is a dua. If the intention is a dua, no problem. As long as you're not thinking this is, I'm reciting this because it's the Quran. No. Because dua, because this is beautiful dua. Oh Allah, give us good in the dunya and the akhirah and protect us against hellfire. So meaning going directly to Jannah. So the thing without even reckoning. So this, as long as you're saying this some ayat as dua, it's fine, but don't recite Quran. And Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam definitely, he made long sujood. Long sujood. طيب. And he said, Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, one of the virtues of sujood, he said, every one of my ummah, I know him. He said in the hereafter, he said, how would you know, Ya Rasulullah? He said, he mentioned like if you have like black horses and white horses, or black horses with a dot, with a white dot on their faces. Would you tell, can you distinguish your horse? He said, yes. He said, I know my ummah because of, I can recognize my ummah because of the sujood, the places of sujood and the wudu. So they have those marks, and which is bright, and their faces, their hands, and so on, because of the sujood and the wudu. And even they said the hadith was mentioned, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send the malaika to bring the people out of hellfire. Some people said, how would they recognize them? They recognize by, they can tell right there, this used to make sujood, this makes wudu. They can recognize by the mark on their faces, and so on. So Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to mention, I mean, that's to sit, to make sujood on a hard floor. Cannot be like making sujood on the bed. And sujood could be anywhere, subhanAllah. This is the sujood. Then you raise your head from the sujood. You say Allahu Akbar and sit there. And this sitting between the two sajda, it's a pillar also. And you have to sit again till you feel at ease. Tmanan again. The pillar of Tmanan. The Tamanin is a pillar. Feeling at ease with each pillar. This goes right along with each pillar for the salah. Said you sit down and till you feel at ease. And one of the sunnah to say Rabbi Ighfirli, Rabbi Ighfirli, Rabbi Ighfirli, or Rabbi Ighfirli warhamni wahdini wa'afini warzuqni warfa'ni. One of the dua, you could say that, inshallah. طيب. And this is the dhikr between the two jalsa. Make sure this jalsa, that's what they call jalsa between the two rak'ah, it's pillar of the salah. Make sure do not miss out. طيب. Getting up from the sujood. Again, he made sujood, sat this way till he felt at ease. The dua you say Rabbi Ighfirli and so on, this is sunnah. You could sit not saying anything, but you miss out. But then you make sujood, then you sit, then you put your hand this way. This now talk about sunnah. Put your hand as making dough. They didn't have the dough mixer then, right? So that with your mothers, your grandmothers, they used to make dough like this. I remember my mom used to make the dough like this, right? So put your hand this way and get up. This is sunnah. How about someone did not do this? No problem. This is a sunnah. But subhanAllah, when you know someone praying in front of you and the sunnah, you can tell how does he get up. But if you get him up the way he wants, sometimes he knock you back. You guys are always worried about it. Seriously, when you know someone in front of you praying in the sunnah, you can tell. You know how he's going to get up. Systematic. You know he get up. Put his hand, you know the way he getting up. But the other one, put his foot there, his hand there, and he move up. Usually this is where the accidents comes out. So, so we make sure, subhanAllah, to that. And you get up, stand, the same thing. And you do not raise your hand in the first rak'ah. From the second rak'ah, from tashahhud to the third rak'ah, you say Allahu Akbar. You raise your hand. This is sunnah also. And we're mixing between wajib and sunnah and the pillars of salah. So from second, remember, second rak'ah, from tashahhud, going up, you say Allahu Akbar, you raise your hand. From second to third as well. Alhamdulillah. Then the second rak'ah, we do exactly what we have done in the first rak'ah. The second rak'ah, there's tashahhud. The first tashahhud, most likely it's a wajib. Leave it intentionally, will invalidate your salah. Leave it unintentionally, then you have to make two sujood toward the end of the salah. The stronger opinion, the tashahhud is, it's a wajib. Some scholars say it's a pillar, but let's see, Allah knows best, that tashahhud is, the first tashahhud is wajib, is not mandatory, is not pillar. But again, we must do it if we forget this one. Now, if you forget the first tashahhud, there's so many opinions about, like for example, I'm about to get up, I put my hand this way, got up halfway, I can go back. And almost stand, I can go back. Till the point that says, some scholars said, even if standing, you can go back. For example, you stood up, and you remember, you could go back and sit. Some opinions. Some other opinion, they said, if you stand, you don't get up. I don't want to get confused with that, but you could choose this or that, inshallah. Most likely, if we stand up totally, it's too late. But there's, again, there's strong opinion, you should do that. In the tashahhud, now we sit there in the tashahhud. How should we do our fingers? There's some people, they do this. Some people, they raise their hand when they say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Some people, they put their hand this way, they left this way. There's some people, they do this. I'm not criticizing, but we need to know the right thing. All right? So the thing is, there's, first of all, one of the sunnah, circle your thumb, and your index together. The middle finger, Thumb and the middle finger, make circle. Both right here. This is your knee, right here by your knee. All right? Then raise this way. There's opinion said, you could move it a little bit, you could do like this. You don't want to do this up and down. You're not moving it. You're going up and down. This one, there's circulation. And so we want to make sure to do the sunnah. Some opinions said your finger is not a stick. Even if you put it this way, it's still moving. And to be on the safe side, you could do this. Move it this way, a little bit. As long as you move it this way. Don't bend it straight, this way. Move it. This is the hadith of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we do the finger from the beginning till the end. We say the tahiyyat till the end. Not in the middle and so on. Even like I said, this is, subhanAllah, the hadith, of course, was mentioned by Zaida ibn Qudam, rahimahullah ta'ala. So, and he said, it is, لَهِيَ أَشَدُّ عَلَى الشَّيْطَانِ hadith. This is harder on the shaitan from hadith. So basically, it's very difficult for the shaitan to see your finger up this way. Like someone put your finger, God forbid, in your face, here. So this is the going to the shaitan, and so on. And then during that, I'm going to stop here. During that, you look at your finger. So I'm doing the shot, I'm looking at it. This way. So that, you look at your finger this way. All right? So this is the thing, inshallah. I will stop right here, inshallah. I have to be ready for, probably we're not going to give this. I will let you know, inshallah, before Asr, because today we have the fundraiser for the masjid. And